ICT has become an integral part of teaching. But is the ICT suite, technology that underpinned those shifts, about to undergo a dramatic change? These Year 4 children from Fowey Primary School in Cornwall are using ICT to work on an ambitious project about insects. With the help of their head teacher, Andrew Earnshaw, they are filming backgrounds for their self-made insects. Later, they will take the footage back to school and edit a short video. But they won't be working on the school's 15 PCs in the ICT suite. They will be doing the editing in their classroom with the help of wireless laptop computers. Is this the way forward for ICT in primary schools? Is the future all about mobility? And has the ICT suite, until recently the must-have resource, had its day? Andrew Earnshaw is one of those who believes that it is in fact becoming an educational dinosaur.
Computer Suite was bought some 2.5 years ago. That has already become almost obsolete. We're left with equipment now in schools that we actually can't get rid of. We can't give them to the charities that want to take them away either because the spec is so low. So what we don't want to do is end up with a lot of equipment that we basically can't get rid of.
But when you go on the internet, you get that little space at the bottom where you put in your keywords, and the search you're going to do is for BBC schools.
Sarah Butler is the school's Year 2 teacher and Fowey's ICT coordinator.
I think the problem with a lot of ICT suites, ours as well as everybody else's, is that everyone's just tried to squeeze them in whatever space they've got. But we've just had a room which used to be a cupboard which was then built on to create the space, so it's not the best space. And I think that is a problem with a lot of ICT suites. So they can be noisy and they can feel overcrowded, and they've all got these computer chairs that squeak and groan and grind, and the noise level is quite high.
This is it. BBC School. 18th of October. You sure? Try this today.
We've got probably about another year, I would say, with the ICT suite. We're looking at different options with it at the moment. Whether we have a similar system as we have in the classrooms for teachers, where we have docking stations along within the computer suite, and we then invest in more laptops, and the children can then, it could still be used as a room, so they can come in and put the laptops on and dock them onto the stations, perhaps have monitors, so it could be used as a computer suite, but at the same time, if it's not being used as that, it allows us another room and the flexibility of using that room for a range of other things as well. It's also possible that the computer suite will actually simply become redundant and the lessons will take place within the classroom.
You are going to be using Play-Doh and you are going to be modelling the actual models of your creatures. And then
Sarah disagrees. She thinks that there is still a place for a room in the school allocated specifically to teaching ICT.
I think a computer suite is very important for our school, and particularly for the younger children. I think once they're older they can cope more and they've got more skills, but when you're actually teaching skills you want to be in a position where it's relatively quiet, you can have a small number of children, they can hear you and you can help them.
Charlie, actually, what do you think of that? I think it's really cool.
Also the robustness of it, because little fingers fiddle and there's quite a lot of things to fiddle with on a laptop. And although I wouldn't use them at all with children, I think generally speaking, I think the PCs are more robust. You can replace the keyboard, you can replace the mouse, but you can't replace a mouse pad if that's been fiddled with. For establishing the basic skills that children need, the mouse skills, the typing skills, and the general being able to manoeuvre themselves through computer programs, I think a suite is ideal for that, really.
Andrew and Sarah agree that in their experience, the ICT suite has been useful for teaching the basic skills to early learners. They think the computers are robust and replaceable, but that PCs become outdated quickly. The rooms can be noisy and are not often purpose-built. Wary of purchasing new expensive computer equipment, which has to be updated regularly, Andrew Earnshaw has decided to lease 16 laptops, which will be shared between Fowey's year groups. The mobility of these laptops means they can be transported easily to wherever they are needed.
I think it's really quite easy to get into wireless technology now, and really especially important if we're using laptops within schools rather than PCs. When you lease or buy a laptop now, the specifications will have a network card built into the laptop. So all you're really having to invest in is a unit to plug into your internet connection socket in the classroom. So we'd then be able to access the internet on the laptop at any place around the school that you care to.
Having a wire-free network and a wireless network is, I think, really important if you're using a laptop, especially with the little children, and especially in most classrooms. You can't have wires trailing everywhere, and you'd have, then again, you see, if you had an internet connection, you'd have to have that many points in the classroom, so you could connect 20 or 15 laptops to it. So all in all, it would just be a bit of a problem. That's it, click on knowledge box, well done.
Knowledge box, knowledge box.
Sarah Butler likes to use laptops as a teaching tool for small groups.
Right, today we're going to read a story and it's called Minnie's Kite, okay?
She finds they help children's concentration and make a difficult concept more easily understood.
Have you found some, Brandon?
I've only found two.
So which short vowel sound have you got in this word here?
Children find it very difficult to concentrate, and working even in a small group, they still can't stay focused on the task. So I thought it would be quite interesting to use the laptops, where they each have a laptop and they have an interactive story, and it's a lot more tactile and a lot more investigative for them to do. When you're reading with a group, you want it relatively quiet, and you want the children all quite close to you so that they can look at you and talk to you. And in the suite, they'd all have their backs to you, so the laptops work well because obviously you can have a nice small group around the table.
You need to click on to do.
Grandfather got Minnie a balloon.
Have you found it, Sophia?
Yes.
So what word did you find?
Ice.
Ice. And what happened? What did the silent E do on the end? What did it do to the I sound?
Nothing. It sounded like F.
There, it was make it.
I think they allow the opportunity to be used really just for reading. The children aren't going to be learning any particular skills of using the computer. They are going to be learning about reading, and so the laptops are there and they're in front of them, and I can keep them contained in a small area and hopefully get them to read better.
At the moment, the children really like the laptops. One, because all the teachers have got one. All my children want laptops for Christmas because they're new and they're faster and they're just a bit more shiny than the normal computers. If you'd asked them when we had a brand new computer suite put in, they'd probably all want the brand new computer suite computers.
Rosemary Eade has been a teacher for about 20 years. At first she found laptops daunting, but now she's an enthusiast.
I like the idea of the laptop. Everything that I need is on there. I can control so many resources. We have Knowledge Box on the laptop, and we're beginning to use that now. The way I approach things is I do one thing at a time. I sort of say to myself, I'd like to learn how to do that. And then I do that. And then I work from there and then take the next step. But I love the idea of having it all on the laptop. My planning is all on there now. I can go back to it any time. I can change it. I can put it up on the screen. I've got a similar system at home, so it's all completely interchangeable, although I take this one home all the time.
The teachers like the flexibility and the interactivity the laptops bring. They integrate easily into the classroom and are ideal for small group work. They are fast and wireless. But on the downside, they think laptops are less robust, have smaller keyboards and screens, and are more expensive. Each teacher at Foy has their own laptop on which to prepare lesson material. Part of Sarah's job is to train other teachers in the new technology and pass on her skills.
Rosemary's talking about her art, and she wants to use video, and I'm going to be working with some of the children on using Flash, so perhaps you could work with them on video.
She's been given the opportunity in the school to work with the children to create movies and animation to add a different dimension to the children's work, and she's worked with other teachers passing on her technical skills, and the other teachers are passing on their creative skills to create some really interesting, exciting projects.
Rosemary has devised a creative and interactive project about insects for her Year 4 class. It incorporates elements of science, art and ICT. Not only have they had a field trip to the Eden project to photograph backgrounds for their insects, but also they are going to be given an opportunity to try out some new animation software.
I actually found out that it did the animation by accident. Really? And I'd drawn a picture and then lost it and couldn't work it, and then I suddenly realised that it did this. And the reason I'm using it with the children is that it's very simple and they'd recognise it because it follows the same programme as a normal art programme, so they won't find it too tricky.
At Foy, laptops seem to have encouraged interactivity with everyone. Not only have Rosemary and Sarah got involved, but even Andrew helps out by using a digital camera to try out the children's reporting skills.
I want them to go outside or wherever and look at things which are unusual and build up their idea of an unusual habitat. But I'd like them to actually eventually, the final thing would be a sort of David Bellamy or Richard Attenborough type documentary.
Hello, my name is David Leaf. I am here to explore the tropical jungle of Foy that no one else has ever explored. Ready, quiet, action. Hello, I am David Jungle. Quiet.
I think today was really successful on several levels. I think that the ICT skills that the children learned about how to use the equipment was fantastic, but I think on another basis as well, the creative aspect and the enthusiasm and excitement that it gave the children was really immeasurable. As the children at the end of the day were coming back in, they were keen to carry on, they just wanted to carry on, and they said to me that was really, really fun today, and they enjoyed it. And I thought it was fantastic that they thought that was fun, but actually they have learned an enormous amount about science, about art and about ICT. But like all best lessons, they're learning best when they're not actually thinking about the fact that they're learning.
From the laptop's point of view and the programme I was using, I've come up with a few things that I wish I'd known before I started, but I know next time now. And so a lot of the work that the children have done this afternoon is they're going to actually have to redo because of a certain problem involving the backgrounds. But I think unless you use it, you're just never going to get better at doing it. And the more you use it, the more you learn, and next time I'll know.
School's out, and Andrew and Sarah discuss how the ICT has helped this project.
Because we've had that discussion, haven't we, about whether the computer suite's days are numbered and whether we'd actually be doing a lesson within the classroom with laptops.
But the lesson today wasn't about ICT, it was about using ICT for something else. So the laptops work really well for that, but the suite also works really well for actually teaching skills and allowing the children opportunities to develop their skills and able to use it on the laptops.
That's true. Because we said that it perhaps will come a time fairly soon where we're actually just teaching the very youngest children the basic skills together, and then the ICT stops almost becoming a specific subject and it just continues through all the other subjects, and they use it constantly within all the other subjects around the school.
But it does seem that teachers feel laptops are here to stay.
I couldn't imagine life with one, but now I can't imagine life without one. And that's just shown how far we've moved. A few years ago, I was very lucky to have a laptop when they first came out, and as a coordinator, I was using it as a coordinator, but not so much as a tool for teaching within the classroom. But the system that we've got just works really well. I can create resources and I can put the laptop on its docking station, throw it up on the ICT on the board. And even just within the last sort of few weeks, I've sort of thought, I'm never going to plan all my planning on a laptop, and it's almost becoming second nature now.
I think if children are using ICT in the classroom, integrated into the curriculum, I'm not sure that an ICT suite is necessarily the best place to be doing that, because you want the ICT to be used as a tool within the lesson and within the curriculum right there in the classroom where it's happening.
Like a lot of primary schools, Foy will soon have to make some hard decisions about the direction of its ICT strategy. Are we witnessing the end of the ICT suite and the beginning of a wireless portable learning environment in our primary schools? As the clip from Foy's Crazy Insect project proves, there's not much doubt about their view of the future.